Hey guys, I'm Rhonda and I'm here today with craftyhangouts.com. It's time for another one of our monthly hangouts. A bunch of crafters and I were all sent a package of ribbon this month from the Ribbon Retreat. They sent me this fabulous bag of ribbons. You see there's some nice patriotic ribbons at the top and then a whole bunch of other really awesome stuff that they sent. And we had to make a patriotic project. I made these fireworks flowers, which I'm really happy with how they turned out. Get you a good look at them there. They're super easy. They actually started out as a bouquet of dollar store silk roses. So I'll show you how I made those. First thing you're going to need to do is you'll notice my ribbon is all spirally. That is called corker ribbon. Now, if you've never made corker ribbon before, the Ribbon Retreat does have a really good sheet of instructions. I will put a link to that in the video description when I'm done here. Basically, all you need for that is a dowel, some ribbon, and a couple of clothespins. I have just little mini ones. Bigger ones work better, but this is what I could find. So I know I have other ones somewhere, but they're buried in my stash. And, well, you know how that goes. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your ribbon, and at the top of the dowel, you're just going to clip it on. And you're just going to twist the dowel and feed the ribbon on like so. And you're going to spiral it all the way down the whole dowel. And then when you get to the other end, you're going to clip the other end. This is actually a full-size dowel cut in half, so I can fit it on a cookie sheet because we're going to put these in the oven. You're going to preheat your oven to 275. I like to heat mine while I'm busy wrapping up my dowels because it takes me a while to get through all of them sometimes. And once that's done, you put them on a cookie sheet. You can just put them straight on the rack, but they're easier to handle when you put them on a cookie sheet. Leave them in your oven at 275 for about a half an hour or so. And when you take them out, and you take it off the dowel, they will hold that curly shape. So fun. And I thought that reminded me kind of fireworks. It's very popular to use this technique to make hair bows, which is where I got my inspiration. I have a couple of friends who have daughters who always have really adorable corker hair bows, and I thought they would translate well to flowers for the 4th of July. So when you have your bouquet of flowers here, you're going to pull the heads off and we're going to take the flowers apart. Now, there'll be a part on the back that you can kind of slide off. There's that. We're going to keep this part. And then we're going to take all these silk parts. I'm setting all mine aside. I have a few ideas for projects using these. So we're going to set these aside for later. And sometimes, like in between on this one, there's some more little plastic majiggers that hold the petals where they're supposed to be. I'm just going to throw those parts away because I don't really have a use for them. You could always keep them if you are a super hoarder, like I tend to sometimes be. We're going to keep going until we've got it down to there'll be like a center core piece. This is what slides onto the stem. So we're going to put this back through the middle of that first part we took off, and it gives us kind of a little cup shape. So this is what we are going to build our flower on. And once you've got your ribbon all baked up and curled, you're going to cut it into sections. I've already cut mine into segments about yay long. See, they're about, I don't know, 3-4 inches, somewhere in there. And you can do different, depending on how full you want your flowers, you can use different widths of ribbon. You can use more or less ribbon, longer or shorter pieces of ribbon. Experiment, because there are 1,000 ways to do this, and none of them are wrong. Again, the instruction sheet from the Ribbon Retreat about how to make the ribbon itself, they also have several different techniques for this next part. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take, I've got some baker's twine. You can use any string. I went with this baker's twine because it's blue and white, so it'll kind of blend into my flowers. And we're going to cut a section of that off. Now I've got, you'll want probably at least 10 or 12 of these little springy sections when you get them cut. I've got more like about 20 or 24 in somewhere in there for this one. The more of them that you put on there, the fuller your finished flower is going to be. So again, it's something you might want to experiment with, see what look you like. You might want to do some with less, some with more. I like pretty much all the different looks I've come up with, so you really can't go wrong. I'm taking those pieces of ribbon, and I've got them all lined up here, and I'm tying my string around the center of this pile of ribbon. And again, sorry that I don't have a visual of this for you right here, but there's several ways to do this part, so I will give you that link because their tutorial is fabulous. But once you get you see I tied a knot back here to kind of keep them all together, and you turn it back over, it is a beautiful little fireworky looking springy thing. So I'm going to trim off my excess. Make sure you've got your knot tied good and tight. And I'm going to trim off the excess string. And now we are going to mount this lovely little ribbon flower on. I've got one empty flower. There it is. I've got an empty one on this bouquet. So we're going to fill the last one. I'm going to take a hot glue gun, and I'm going to put inside of the little cuppy part, I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue. I'm going to fill it, not all the way, about 2/3 of the way maybe. Put some hot glue in there. And then I'm going to find the knotted side of this. I like to put my knot down into the glue. That way the knot is less likely to come untied because it's glued. And so there's my knot, and I'm just going to put that right in the center and press. You can see I've got the thing there. And that is it. Once the glue cools, I'm using low temp, so it cools pretty quickly here, so it's good to go. And there you go. You might need to kind of give it a little bit of a zhuzhing, kind of like adjust your little spirals a little bit. Sometimes they like to wrap around each other. And you just stick the little bottom part of the flower back onto the stem, and you're done. That is how you make ribbon fireworks flowers. So thank you very much, Ribbon Retreat, for sending me the awesome bag of ribbon. They were very generous. There's all kinds of ribbons for different other holidays and seasons in there, so I'm sure you'll be seeing lots more of their ribbon popping up in my projects. Make sure you head over to craftyhangouts.com and see what all the other girls have been up to this week with their batch of Patriotic ribbons. Subscribe to my channel while you're here because I have lots more great things in store for you. Check out my blog, Mrs. Green, and we'll catch you around next time. Thanks, and stay crafty.